All right, everybody. Super Bowl is upon us. And I know for a lot of y'all, it's a day that doesn't matter because you probably don't like both teams. Then there's some people that's only got their needle one way to the Eagles. And then there's a small pool of people that's over here like Kansas City. And let me tell you, the Kansas City Chiefs will lose. I win. This is one that's really hard for me to pick. I was like, once again, I was like, it's like, do you want to go get the Chiefs or not? Because the Eagles got a really better team up until you really get sort of towards wide receiver, offensive line, really the offense. Really the offense. The offense is better than Kansas City, to be honest. Now you want to talk about coaching wise? No, it's not that. But I was like two receivers. I was like the tight end is the only difference. The offensive line is better. I was like Jalen Hurts. I think can play Patrick Mahomes to a draw just because Patrick Mahomes ain't being like that crazy gunslinger type of person. So I was like, and then we go defense, and I'm like, Kansas City know when to get stopped just as much as Philadelphia, but I was like, they're really kind of sort of also even from safety with Reed, Blankenship, McDuffie, Slay, Mitchell. I was like, they're probably a little bit better there in the secondary. Uh, Linebackers, I was like, Andrew, how you feel? Uh, and line, I was like, Chris Jones, Kalafis versus, Carter and Sweat Smith. So it was like, they're really a lot more even than just saying that how people have been saying Philadelphia is the overwhelmingly better team. But that doesn't also take away from the facts of execution, of timing, and all that other stuff that Kansas City always just sort of know how to get out. Now, because I don't have a real rooting interest in this, part of me wants to see Jalen Smith. I mean, not Jalen Smith. Damn, who is that? Jalen Hurts get his ring, go to the Super Bowl because it is one of them things. Like, how many times you gonna get this chance at the crack at the apple? Why does that bite at the apple? There we go. Whew, I was like getting rid of these thoughts at the same time, but and just with Philadelphia, all those same like a lot of those teammates are still about the same. I was like Sirianni. I was like, he can't be saved after this one. That's kind of like okay, but at the same time it's Philly, you know. I was like, where it's kind of like man. I was like, if you stay up there, you better just stay indoors because it's going to be wild out there. On the other hand, I'm not gonna lie, I do kind of want to see a three-peat. I do kind of want to see that little greatness factor. To me, I was like, they're not the same, but they are to basically Golden State. But I was like, to me, I was like, people, I was like, I think one, people are just really just mad more so because it's the damn internet more than anything. Because I like to me, I was like, the Patriots were more annoying than this. The Patriots were more upsetting than this. So when everybody's like, Kansas City, the thing is real, blah blah blah, and I'm like, where was you at beforehand? I was like, we've been doing this with teams and stuff like that before. It ain't just the Chiefs that done made it cool. Why is this? But I do kind of want to see like, oh man, I was like, he could stamp his way into history. I was like, he'd be the GOAT. All this other stuff we could start putting some of the conversations aside. But then that also, do you believe like, will he ever get back here? And it's like Patrick Mahomes, it could. It's like, or are you thinking that hey, Burrow, Lamar, and Josh Allen will at some point take over, and then that's it. So it's also like striking while the iron's hot. You know what I'm saying? Where it's like Philadelphia, I was like, will they might be here? I was like, will they might be? Will they be here next year? They could be. I was like, they're still within the top several teams. I was like, you don't know that for certain with how the 49ers acted, and they didn't get there the year after they made it the last time. But I was like, I do think that I was like their team is a little bit better structured than it was before. You know who your players are. They're not nothing really changing except for Kellen Moore. But I was like, you can find an offensive coordinator to me and with that type of situation with that team. But who cares? I was like, I'm not the one playing. I'm just the one over here just probably figuring out where to place the money. Um, so I think, when it's all said and done, I think Philadelphia will get the win. I think we're going to find ourselves in an eerie eerily similar situation for all those people that think it's scripted and all that other stuff, where Patrick Mahomes takes them down to score once again. But this time, as always, it's always up to the quarterback who got the ball in his hand last, and it will be how it was with Josh Allen, how it's been before with Lamar, how it always sort of been, to see if they can get it done, to see if they can make that one crucial throw, and if they get that last third down. And I think they'll win by a field goal. I think that going in, I was like, I think they were prepared for Saquon Barkley. If it was me, I was like, I feel like on my first, I'm gonna like on like first down, not all of them, of course, but I was like, especially maybe to start out the game, I was like, I'm gonna pass the ball and tell Jalen Hurts that if you can't pass the ball, run that thing, cause you don't want any negative plays here. So I think it's gonna be really important for Jalen Hurts to know that, and that's why I think that he'll pull it out this time, because I think he'll do a mix of passing and running. Because if it's not there, just run and get some yards if you can. You don't want to be in second and third and longs with this Chiefs team. I was like, and I think the Chiefs got enough weapons to where the cornerback matchup won't stifle them like it does other teams. Cause like I said, they could go 8 receivers deep if they wanted to, not including the tight ends. And I was like, I don't think that's going to bother him. What I think will be what it needs to is the fact of, can Carter basically create matchups for everybody else on the team. I was like, I think he'll play like the Rams, where he basically gets through for a sack or so. But I was like, it's really about, can you create enough to get Smith and Sweat those type of matchups. Because you want to keep Patrick Mahomes inside as much as you can, even though he could do a lot of magic inside. But I was like, I think Saquon will get 100, just because I think he's that dynamic. He's just not running into a pile of dust. But I don't think that he's going to have some astronomical type of number. I think it's going to be just good enough to keep them. To keep them in their places where they still feel like he's a threat. Guess what? He's a threat all the time, unless the Eagles get down for like 2 touchdowns, like later on in the game, or whatever. And even then, you can pass it to Saquon, and he can take that thing to the house. Yeah, I was like, it's gonna be really. I was like, it's gonna be how they had play Josh Allen for the Chiefs, where it was where they're going to have to basically keep somebody around just in case he decides to run. I was like, because they did show that they could stop the little short. Now I was like, 6'5", that you think that should be easy to get the push versus Jalen Hurts, who is 6'1" but stocky. I was like, he could get low enough to where he could sort of get through that. We'll have to see how they are able to do the tush push in Philadelphia, if they're able to run it or not. Because Chiefs do stop that. I do think that will be critical, because it's not always it won't always be 4th down, but that doesn't mean that they won't try. I think this is a close matchup between both teams, to be honest. But I'm going to go Philly. I was like, because I was like, I think that Jalen Hurts is going to ball out. I think he's going to put up some all-purpose type yard type things. Yeah, I was like, I think he's going to really have to, because I was like, I don't think Patrick Mahomes is going to go crazy. I think he'll pass for like 200. I think he'll pass actually pretty well, even against the defense of the Eagles. But yeah. Anyway, sorry. I still kind of do want to see the 3-peat though. To the people that be disappointed, yeah, to y'all, no, Eagles all the way. Aha! Whatever. Anyway, how do y'all feel about the game? Where y'all think it's gonna go? Let me know. Till then, peace. I'm out.